What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are here for the weekly scraps, and we got my guy here, Jake. What up?
I'm back. I'm back.
Jake is back. So, you guys in the comment section, make sure you go on full attack.
I had to give him something to talk shit about
Yeah.
because they're bored without me to talk shit about. So I
I
took
thought there
some
was gonna
time
be no
off,
fights this
and
weekend, but then I realized that was last weekend.
yeah, that was last weekend.
I'm thinking, I was talking to Pumi. I was like, "Yeah, there's no fights this weekend. I gotta figure out what we're gonna talk about." And he's like, "Nah, there's fights." I'm like, "You sure?" Kansas City. Oh my goodness.
Were you at WrestleMania?
I was at WrestleMania. It was a good time. I had a crazy week. So I went to the Desert Dogs game, Las Vegas lacrosse team. I don't even watch lacrosse. I don't really understand it. I know you gotta get the ball in the freaking hole. Um, they run
Hey
around the
yo,
cradle. You ever play lacrosse?
I didn't play lacrosse.
It's a very physical looking game. My one of my best friends, Enoch, he's always tried to get me to go play. He convinced me to do wrestling, but I just couldn't do lacrosse. I'm like, yeah, I'm just not cut out to be running around getting knocked around silly. And I
You know
couldn't
what?
cradle for shit, so just couldn't do it.
Lacrosse was one of those things where it's like such a white sport that anytime a black guy ever did it, he was the best guy on the team automatically.
Yeah, I don't think it was
You
like that at
know?
Uniondale.
Wait, they had lacrosse at Uniondale?
Yeah, our team wasn't very good.
That's crazy because like when I was in high school, there was a lacrosse team. I wasn't on it, but there was like hella like white kids on the team, and then this one guy who like wrestled and played football. He was a black dude. He joined and he was like never played before, and automatically he was the best guy on the team.
I mean, it's a lot of like agility, hand-eye coordination. You got to catch that ball the way they're freaking whipping it at you. So we got to go to that. They actually had our logo on the banner like around the arena, which was pretty dope. We're gonna try to work to get the Funk Harbor Rum in there for like the Lee's Family Forum. That's the arena that they play in now. And then so I did that on Friday. Then we went to Metro Boomin at Live, partied it up. I think I went to bed at like 4 a.m. Because then I had to train the next day. Oh, I gotta stop doing this. I'm like
Bro,
killing my body. My body's like, you're
did
not
you train?
21 anymore.
You made it to training?
I made it to training. It was a rough one. Actually, I lied. That was the week before. Wait, did I go to training? No, I didn't. I didn't make it to training. I got to sleep in. So that weekend was good. So I got to get some good, much needed rest. Saturday we took off. We just got a lot of work done that we need to get taken care of before we go to Bali next week. This week actually, we got the summer camp out there. Well, it's not really a summer camp. It's just a seminar, BJJ camp. And then Sunday we went to WrestleMania. I couldn't do 4 days of wrestling. I'm like, this is a lot. I don't know if I'm even into this anymore. But then I went, and I'm like, I can see why grown men still watch this sport. It's entertaining. It's just fun. Uh, but of course, I got to sit in the front row, so that was a different experience from, I guess, the most average viewer. But it was in the Allegiant Stadium, bro. The whole arena was packed. I'm looking up in the nosebleeds. I'm like, this is gonna be insane for like people to leave. But a great event. I got to meet Quavo, got to meet Metro Boomin. Lil Yachty sat right next to me. I wanted to be like, I take the walk into Poland. I was gonna do it. I was like, control yourself, Aljo, control yourself. So I controlled myself.
Wait, did you talk to Lil Yachty?
Yeah, a little bit. He seemed like he didn't really want to be bothered, but the moments we did talk, he was like cool. But and when I first got there, it kind of seemed like he was annoyed, like who are all these people sitting next to me, kind of a thing, or just people coming up to him or in the way, kind of a thing, walking past him. So I can see how that could be a little annoying. But I mean, he was sitting in the first two rows with like a lot of the celebrities, me, Marab, Izzy was in the front row, DC to the left with his kid. Um, it was fun, man. So and getting to see John Cena win, that was dope. You can't see me.
Wait, I got more questions. Hold on. So you met Quavo and Metro Boomin.
Yes. I was about to
What were
start
they
rapping.
like?
I was about to start rapping like right there on the spot.
I'm glad you didn't.
They might have signed me.
What was Quavo like?
It was cool. Yeah, he's a super fan, bro. It was cool. Like he was into the whole shit. I like this is kind of dope, especially Metro. Metro was super into it. Like he knew everybody. He was like he knows the name. He's doing the chants and everything. So we started doing the chants with him. I was like, all right, this is kind of fire. Hanging out with Metro and Quavo and Yachty. And then we got to meet Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson. I think his last name is Jackson. I took a picture with him
Okay.
at Live on Friday night. He was cool as shit. Just getting to chop it up with him. But yeah,
How was So do you think WWE is bigger than UFC?
damn.
Because like I'm thinking, could the UFC have an event that big at Allegiant Stadium?
I don't see why they couldn't if they put the right fights together, right? And then if you bring the right people out, like Quavo had like his after parties and stuff. So it's like an attraction. You bring out the entertainers, the people are going to come out to want to watch. They're going to want to be in the same building as some of these guys. And with that said, you get a different demographic, right? I've always had a hard time tapping into that, the black demographic, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm like nervous, not nervous, or like I don't know if it's my ego that makes me like not want to reach out to some of these guys, but I also know how I am. Like when people start reaching out, you're kind of like, ew, brother, what's that? Ooh, brother, kind of a little more reserved. So I think it's kind of got to be a natural synergy. Like me seeing them at the event now is cool versus me reaching out on like social media or something like that. Like, yo, bro, let's connect. Like, I think that's way different than seeing someone just having a natural connection like that. And I thought that was fire. My hair is a mess right now. That's why I got to wear my little Funk Harbor hat,
Yeah, no, I'm just trying. I mean, like if like UFC 300, right? Like the marketing and the hype built around that card, like do you like could they have packed out like a? I wonder, could they have packed out an Allegiant
I
stadium,
don't
like
see
an
why they
NFL
couldn't.
size stadium?
I don't
I
see
feel
why
like
they
they
couldn't. I
could.
think the main thing would be the visibility. Because I know Dana says the reason why I've heard him say this before, or at least a soundbite or something. He doesn't like to do the stadiums and stuff like that because he cares about the experience for all the fans in there. Because if you're all the way in the nosebleeds of a stadium, you're really not watching the fights that's happening below. You're really just there bullshitting, having a good time, watching the screen, which is still fun. I think they should just try it, man. I don't see why not. It couldn't hurt.
I just feel like if Dana knew he could pack out NFL stadiums, he would do it. Like the money's probably way better, I would think.
Well, they had that gate, I think, in Montreal and Melbourne, where they had like 55 or 60,000 people. I'm just like, that's basically a stadium. So I don't
That
see.
is a stadium.
Yeah, I think the Melbourne one for sure was a stadium. Montreal, I don't really know. I'm assuming that had to be a stadium too, because I don't know if arenas are that big or that many seats. But yeah, I think he said it's just really because of the fan experience. He wants it to be good for everyone all around. Because he's like, I know he's big on like you could watch it from home, you could watch it on the TV at the bar, you could watch it in the first row, the top rows, and the experience is still going to be great. And I do think that is an important piece of it. But if you could do a huge event like a UFC 400 at a
Yeah.
stadium, it's like, brother, why not?
I feel like culturally, like I don't know. I feel like the UFC and the WWE like coming together under TKO is like it's definitely making them both bigger. But it's kind of making me realize like the WWE is almost like I don't want to say it's like NFL level, but I feel like it's bigger than the UFC.
It's huge. I can't say for sure which one is bigger, because there was, like I said, like you had to be there. This was a 4-day extravaganza, and then on Monday they had Raw, and I had friends that were supposed to go home on Sunday. They said, you know what, we're gonna stay another day so we could go to Raw. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, but I guess that's just how big it is, and I didn't realize how big it was until actually being a part of the event. Now, I don't know if all the events are like that packed, that sold out at stadiums, or if they're at arenas. But either way, it was cool as shit. Great event, great environment. And then I got to see Stone Cold Steve Austin come out, Mr. 316. He did like 8 beers, cracked them open, clashed them together, classic Stone Cold, drinking them, pouring them all over his face. And then he grabs the can, he just fucking just tosses it into the crowd. I'm like, yeah, this guy is still a savage. Still a savage. So it was cool. Like
That's
for me, that I'm like,
hilarious.
that's Stone Cold. Crack the can. Pause. No Diddy. You had to be there to
Hey, yo.
understand. But it was
Yo,
cool.
what were you just dumping on your head there, bro?
Water. But it was cool. John Cena won. Stone Cold came out. The Rock was supposed to be there. He never showed. Um, the girl Rhea Ripley was there. They had like a female triple threat match. That was fun. The Japanese girl won again. Not won again, but I don't follow to know if she won again. But she was already the champ. But she won the triple threat match. But that was fun. She took her hair. The black chick from Tennessee, I think, took her hair and slapped the girl in her bosoms. And brother, the whole crowd went, oh, because you could hear it. It sounded like a whip.
Oof.
It was crazy. I'm like, you ain't faking that. You can't fake that. Some of the stuff that they were doing, I'm like, that definitely hurt. I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, that hurt. That definitely
Yeah,
hurt.
nah, those guys definitely take a real beating.
Oh,
Like
of
there's a
course.
physical toll to what they're doing. It's
Yeah.
just not like it's not real like the UFC is real, but
Yeah. But it was cool.
it was cool.
But
All right,
that's, yeah,
anyway, so
enough on WrestleMania.
you had a fun weekend. Ian Garry is main eventing against Carlos Carlos Prates. They're both on a big hot streak, and I feel like Ian's kind of on like a redemption, like PR run right now, just
Redemption from
taking the
what?
the cuck allegations.
Redemption.
And he's just like, I mean, like he took the fight with Shavkat. Nobody wanted to fight Shavkat. He gave Shavkat a run for his money. Now he's taking on Prates, who is fucking hot as anything. And I don't know. I feel like if Ian wins, is he getting a title shot?
If I mean, getting a title shot, I don't think so. I mean, you beat a hot
No.
prospect like that, I don't think it gets you a title shot because it's not like Prates was in the top 5 of the division, and then you got Shavkat right there still. You got Bilal versus JDM happening. There's just, I think he's 1 or 2 fights away to get a title shot. He needs to win this, and I think the next one he'll probably get another top 5 opponent. Maybe, I mean, there's Usman there, there's Buckley. Who else is there? Sean Brady. There's some tough guys out there right now. So the division is kind of heating up, and it's nice to see the welterweight like getting some love, and it's nice to see contenders in the welterweight division because for such a long time it's only been like 35, 45, and 55 as the main weight classes, and with like all the attention, so to speak, if that makes sense. Because John Jones was out for a while. The heavyweight division, light heavyweight division, they were kind of passing around the belt. Heavyweight was a little bit in shambles because Francis was leaving, and you got Cyril Gane winning, and then it's just, this is like, there's a lot of hype because there's so much good talent now. The division in the top 5 is very, very deep. Top 10 is pretty deep. So I think there's a lot of fun matchups to make, but I just don't think Ian gets a title shot off of being Carlos Prates. Now, he puts himself in the conversation if he can win and look good doing it. But that's a hard ask because Prates is a really good striker, and I guarantee you Ian's going to be looking to take him down. Because I think that's the path of least resistance. We don't know what the grappling game looks like of any of the fighting nerds. So my intuition says, if I could take this guy down and see if he's any good on the ground, I'm going to look to test that. Maybe strike on the feet for a little bit, see how that goes. If I can't compete with him there, or it's too even, then maybe I take him down or tie him up against the fence, slow him down, and maybe try to look for like a ground and pound TKO sequence or something like that.
I feel like Ian's gonna try to. I feel like his ego, like he wants to strike with him. You know.
I don't know. I just don't think he's. You think his ego really?
I just feel like he's like, I want to knock this guy's knocking everybody out. I want to knock him out and like get rid of the narrative around me. You know what I mean? Like
That narrative ain't going nowhere, brother.
I mean, bro, Prates, he's ranked number 13, but low-key, I think he should probably be ranked higher. Because, like, he knocked out Li Jingliang, and then he knocked out Neil Magny.
He's a dog.
And and he's only 13 in the division,
My
which I
man
don't
out here smoking
understand.
his cigarette packs. He doesn't give a shit. Knocking dudes out,
But
sending their brains to the freaking Neptunes, and then hitting his Marlboros after that.
how? I mean, do you actually think he's smoking like that many cigarettes
Bro,
per
I
day, or is it
seen
just
him
like
smoke the day of his fight. I seen it.
behind, like no cameras around? You just saw it. You just saw him smoking.
Not the day of fight week, sorry. Um, but I heard fight day, he's still smoking. I don't know how much. They said he smokes a pack, maybe half a pack. I believe some of it. I don't know if he's lit it. I don't know. It's hard to say, but he's smoking the competition, so it doesn't matter. So is he gonna smoke the competition again? This is a tough one.
That was kind of a bar you had there. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know what's crazy? If he were to lose, I guarantee you people are gonna say, "Oh, that's what happens when you smoke cigarettes. You're an athlete. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm an experienced coach. I know all this about athletes. Blah 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 blah." Like the guy is winning fights just because he
Right.
loses one fight. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Not saying it's gonna be great for you to become a champion and it being sustainable, but if you want to enjoy your life, everyone's got their vice. If he wants to enjoy his vice, let him enjoy his vice, especially if he's
But
winning.
you don't think like if you're being honest with yourself, you don't think smoking cigarettes consistently like is gonna negatively impact his performance at some point?
At some point, yes, at some point. But who am I to determine what that point is? I don't know how hard he trains. I don't know what his training looks like when he's sparring. Does he look tired? Does he look fatigued? This is 5 rounds, right?
I mean, it's a main event,
Yeah, so it
so
should be 5 rounds. That's what I'm saying. I think we're going to get a lot of questions answered. I think the ball is in Ian Garry's favor because I'm pretty sure he's not smoking cigarettes. I don't know if he drinks during training camp like I do or some other people do. Um, so I think he's in a good spot. But Prates is living his best life, winning fights. And as long as he's putting in the work, at the end of the day, for me, if you don't feel it's enough for you to be like, you know what, this is impacting my training, I should definitely stop. Then, bro, like I vaped my whole fight with um, Mosar. I don't think my gas tank looked any type of shit. I don't think my gas tank was shit with Cater. I drank before those fights. Like
but are you just hitting the vape all day? I feel like you hit
oh,
it
not
like
all day. No, 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 no.
a
That'd be
few
crazy.
times here, a few times there, a few times before bed, but you're not like ripping a box of cigarettes a day. Like, or you're not
No,
going through a vape every day. You know what I
no. It's
mean?
like a
Like,
nightcap.
there's a difference. Yeah, that's like having one drink a day. That's not like gonna kill you. Like, or really, especially if you're training as hard as you do. But like a pack of cigarettes a day
It's not great.
is like that's like you're just inhaling noxious fumes into your lungs, which is the like if you have no cardio, you have nothing in MMA. So I just feel like if he loses to Ian Garry, it's like it's not because of the cigarettes, it's because he's getting up in competition and it's harder to beat guys the higher you get in the rankings. Like we see this with guys all the time.
Prospects.
They look so fucking good until they get to top 10 and then it's like a different person. It's like cuz they're
100%.
facing real guys.
I mean, even,
So,
what was it? The Peyton Tombaugh kid. There was like 3 guys on that fight card that lost their O. Umar, Peyton. There was another guy I think that year, early in the year, there was like 3 events where everyone that was undefeated lost. So it's
I
just when
mean,
you
bro,
get better
it's so
competition, it
common.
just happens.
Exactly. But it's not you can't say it's because of the cigarettes, but I just wonder like at at some point I think at some point he's going to have a performance that's not as good as it could have been because his cardio wasn't there, which
Yeah,
you could easily fix that by not smoking cigarettes, I feel.
yeah. I think you're 100% right. But until then, he's just gonna keep knocking dudes out, and I'm here for it. So um, we'll see how he does with Ian because Ian's long rangy, does a great job of controlling the range. He's got those oblique kicks, he's got that long jab, he's got nice combinations, he's got a great high kick. Prates southpaw. He does a good job controlling the range too. That lead hand, and he looks for that freaking missile of a left hand down the middle. Boom, he's got those knees. He'll trap your hand, fake the cross from the backhand from a southpaw with the left hand, and then step in with the knee that he hit on that kid Radke. He just has a good eye for the openings, and then once he hits you, man, he commits. And that's why I'm intrigued about this fight, because will Ian play Matador the whole time, or will he try to exchange in the firefight? Because if I had to assume, I think the power is on the side of Prates. I don't think anyone could deny that. I don't think even Ian will deny that. But he's more of a sniper. He's more precise. He's going to try to be as accurate as he can, try to be clean, move pretty. Where Prates is just kind of like, I'm in your face the whole time, and he doesn't use a whole lot of energy by changing his stance, moving around, all this footwork shit. He's just right there in the center, which helps him conserve his energy. And I think that's why he's been having the performances that he does, because he's like, I think he trusts his chin. And, it's a very interesting fight. I don't know who's going to win this one. I really don't. I think the Nightmare he's really on fire right now. And the biggest question mark for me is the ground game. If he gets taken down, can he get back up? Or will Ian Garry bank rounds, get him tired, and then have his way with him on the feet and start to be able to pick his shots? And will the cigarettes impact the cardio if it gets to rounds 4 and 5? And I don't think he's ever been outside of round 2 in the UFC yet. So it's a very interesting fight.
Yeah,
Two
and
prospects.
he's used to being the hammer. So like maybe who knows what happens to his mentality if he does face a little bit of adversity.
Yeah. It's going to be good. You have a prediction?
I think Ian gets it done. Decision.
I mean, he had a really good fight with Shavkat. People think Shavkat's the next champ. But I am
feel like
sold
Ian's
on
really
Prates,
good.
though. I am sold on him. But I just, that one hole, no, I don't want to say hole, that one area where I just don't know is a big void. Maybe he doesn't even get to the fight. Maybe he knocks him out before he even gets an opportunity to exploit that. Because it's not like Ian Garry's a super technical wrestler. He doesn't come from a wrestling background. So I'm curious to know, how does he even get the fight to the ground against the cage, clinch, outside leg reaps? It's a hard sell for me, because I want to go on the side of the power, but then it's hard to go against the guy with more, I think, a little bit more experience against higher competition. And maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe because Ian Garry's highest level of competition was Shavkat. I mean,
But that's the guy.
But
like
who
he's
else?
number one.
It's not like he's faced like a killer's row of guys either, So
Hold on. I got this right here. Ian Garry. Let's go over his who he's beat in the UFC. So he came in UFC 268. Jordan Williams. So the names start getting good. It was Daniel Rodriguez, Neil Magny, Jeff Neal, Michael Venom Page, and then he was going to face Joaquin Buckley, then Shavkat, who he almost choked out.
yeah, but the MVP fight was, but I know his MVP is hard to really look good against him. Danny
Definitely
Rod,
a
D-Rod,
boring fight, but
I think D-Rod is like, he's a veteran, but he's not like a super technical, high-level guy for me to go, okay, I think he's a tough test for sure for anyone in that division. And I don't want to call him a gatekeeper, but yeah, so I think in terms of experience, they're relatively even. I mean, Neil Magny, that went the distance, didn't it? Oh no, he beat him down with the leg kicks.
it was a unanimous decision. Yeah.
Yeah, he punished him. That was a tough fight.
That was in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So when he said that, he
I
made
don't
that
know.
big thing about the baby and the child. I'm like, I don't think he meant it like that. I think he meant it like anyone who grew up in the 80s or 90s that got a spanking from their parents. I don't think he meant like beat the shit out of a child. I don't think it was like that.
Yeah, that was like also part of his bad PR run.
Yeah, people were pissed at him over that. But
And then he was having some like not so exciting fights. So it was just a lot. But
yeah, I'm leaning. I think I want to say Ian, but I feel like Prates. Yeah, I feel like Prates. I mean, did he? I don't think he took Shafkat down. I mean, that's a hard guy to take down, but fuck, I'm torn. I'm on the fence. Call me Mr. Feeney.
It's definitely. I mean,
I wonder who the fans think is going to win. Who do you
this
guys think is going to
this
win this?
this fight will really show how like if he's the real deal or not.
For
Prates.
both of them, who, however this fight plays out, will let us know will answer a lot of questions about both these guys. How good is Prates really? How good is Ian Garry really? I mean, he looked good against Shavkat, but Shavkat kind of looked. I mean, I don't know if it was because of Ian Gary's style, but he did not look great. Even though I was never super high on the Shavkat bandwagon because his fight with Jeff Neal, and Jeff Neal is not a top 5 guy. And I thought he was arguably losing the fight until he wasn't. I mean, Jeff Neal put hands on him until the very end. He put him in that schoolboy bullyard choke and choked him out standing up. And I was like, damn, what a way to go out. Because I just didn't see
Wait,
that happening, especially after such a war back and forth like that.
you're talking
So
about for Ian Gary? Oh, you're talking about for Shavkat.
for
Yeah, yeah,
Shavkat.
yeah,
So what I'm saying is
yeah.
I don't really know how good Shavkat is.
Okay.
You know when you could tell levels, but it's one of those things. It's like, well, it's hard for me to tell exactly where your level is because you look like this against this guy, then you look like this against this guy. So I don't know if he just fights to the level of his competition, but he does get finishes. So it's hard. I can't deny that. But I'm just saying, if we just look at the overall performance, it's competitive with a lot of these guys. And then you have Ian Garry. It's competitive with these guys until it's either not. And again, it's a fight. Like I don't think he's going to steam. They're not going to steamroll everybody, right? But
Right.
it's hard for me to go. This is the guy that's going to be unstoppable and hard to beat. I don't think any one of those 3 guys are that guy, in my personal opinion. And I'm going to probably get flack for that. Oh, Shav, you just hate people from our region. What the fuck? No, no. I like wrestlers. I do. I
You're just
love
not
Bilal.
sucking his dick.
I just call it how I
Um,
see it. But yeah, that's my. I don't really know who to. I don't know. I feel like the hype is real of Carlos Prates though, and I think he has an aura about him right now. Where I think Ian. I think after that Shavkat fight, it was kind of laid an egg. But again, it's one of those things that wrestling threat. This is going to be all striking, I would imagine, unless Ian is smart to try to test the grappling of Carlos Prates. And that for me, I think is enough for me to bet on Ian if I were to bet. So I don't know. Yeah. All right, guys, let us know what you thought of WrestleMania. I hope you guys are fans because I'm now a fan of wrestling all over again. And let us know who you think is going to win, Ian Garry or Carlos Prates. Will the Marlboros win or will, I'm not even going to say it, or will Machado win? Gary.
what were you gonna say?
Like, subscribe, and thanks for tuning in. Peace.